Right before I say anything, if you're a Voltron fan and you think I'm gonna be biased towards Power Rangers because that's what you're seeing on screen with my avatar being one of the characters, I swear I'm not, and you really need to stick around to see the true answer of this video. Anyway, we have a classical tale of accusation that went on in the internet. If you're a fan of the franchises of Voltron or Power Rangers, chances are you've likely heard the claim that Power Rangers is a ripoff of Voltron. Hell, I had a friend that once told me Power Rangers was a ripoff of Voltron. That's how widespread that theory is. Both of these shows revolve around 5 heroes in color-coded spandex suits that use giant robots to fight off crime. That's where the claim of Voltron being an OG show that was ripped off comes from. They are quite similar. But the question is that true? Or is it the other way around? Who's the ripoff? So to answer that question, we're gonna need to look at a bit of history. The first ever Power Rangers show debuted in 1993 on Fox Kids. Wow, that's so old. I bet it's older than Voltron. Yeah, well, surprise, Voltron debuted in 1984. This was the statistic used to determine that Voltron was an older show than Power Rangers and that Power Rangers was just a simple ripoff. But truth be told, the origins that truly matter go much deeper than just those simple release dates. Voltron came from an anime known as Golion. Voltron is actually just a cut-up version of that anime made for a more Western audience. From what I'm getting at, this means it's not like a traditional anime like Pokemon, which has a Japanese and American dub. No, things actually changed between these two anime. Power Rangers has a similar thing. It was adapted off of a show known as Kyoryu Sentai's Zyuranger. What this means is that Power Rangers shares the same suits, monsters, and Zords with Zyuranger. However, recasting of the characters as well as changing of the story does happen to differentiate it and make it more American. If we look at it like this, Golion came out in 1981, while Zyuranger came out in 1992, which still gives Voltron the advantage. But there is a catch. Zyuranger is actually the 16th installment in its own franchise, Super Sentai. The first Super Sentai is Himitsu Sentai Go Ranger, which came out in 1975. So that actually gives Power Rangers the 6-year advantage, right? Well, not entirely. Now, Go Ranger did have the upper hand in terms of color-coded spandex suits over Golion. But that's only part of the equation. As we all know, combining robots are a big part of both these shows. And what did Go Ranger not have? Well, a combining mecha. The first one that we'd actually see in Sentai was with Taiyo Sentai Sun Vulcan in 1981. And that was the year that Golion was released. So technically in that area, they are tied. On top of that, both these shows were actually made by the same company of Toei, so technically the combining robot thing was probably thought up by the same execs and made their way into both of these shows. So the answer basically is there ain't really ripping off between these two franchises. However, I don't want anyone to be thinking that either of these franchises are inventors now that I've cleared up this question. I can't even lie, they're just not. Who are the real inventors? World-threatening monsters, see Godzilla. Team of heroes, see Cyborg 009. 5 color-coded spandex heroes, see Gatchaman. And combining giant robots, see Combattler V. These are the franchises that truly created all of these ideas. So hearing all of this must kind of sting for both fandoms, and I get it. You understandably probably wanted your show to not be the ripoff over the other, and to hear that it ended in a stupid tie is kind of underwhelming, on top of the fact that both of them are giant ripoffs of other franchises. But if I have to be honest, ripoff is way too strong of a word that really should not be used here. Since the beginning of time, we've all had to propel off of other people's shoulders. And I view it as both Power Rangers and Voltron doing the exact same thing. And you know what? That's perfectly fine. Because you know what? We used established ideas to create something else great out of them. I'm sorry, but I cannot speak as much for Voltron since I do not know the series. However, for Power Rangers and Super Sentai, what I do know is that various expansions were made upon these gimmicks. For example, we have annual seasons with different themings every time, which allows those themings to get pasted onto the combining robots. Because of this, the series has taken the robots into different worlds such as pirates, samurai, dinosaurs, and even trains. I'm sure Voltron has also renovated tons of ideas as well. So in the end, whoever created a base idea for something isn't really relevant because you can be sure that different franchises will do what they can to differentiate themselves from others.